Hello, I'm ABX Toycat and welcome back to Seed Sunday. Seed Sunday is a weekly series I run on my channel where I talk about and show you seeds Minecraft Xbox and Minecraft PlayStation, and this week I have a particularly cool seed I'd like to show off because usually on these Seed Sundays I try to get just the ideal seed, and the ideal seed is usually very similar to each other. However, this week's seed is one that does have a lot of really cool loot. If you like your free stuff in your seed, don't worry, you've got you covered here, but it also has a bunch of really weird stuff like glitches and just, general weirdities that I think you might enjoy if you want a different seed. So please do like the video if you do like it, because it helps out the channel a lot, and let me know you do like it, and let's get straight into the video. So the first thing most people usually wonder with a seed video is, what is the seed? And the answer to that is IBX TC80. It's on screen right now. If you want to type that into your Minecraft, you can totally do that, and if you do, you will spawn somewhere in this snowy biome right here, whether it be on the hill over here, whether it be just over here, is obviously it's slightly random, but you're going to spawn somewhere in this snow biome. And the first thing you're going to want to do in this snow biome is, first of all, get yourself some food if that's important, like kill yourself some pigs and stuff, but also you're going to want to head straight to the right here into the desert biome. If you don't like your snow biomes, don't worry, you've got literally 20-30 blocks to cover, and then you're in a desert. Once you're in the desert, you have another 20 or 30 blocks and a tiny hill to go over, and then boom, you've found yourself your first village. So this is really awesome because this means you can kind of be self-sufficient just with this village, because of course it has so much food for you to take, whether it be so much wheat or so many potatoes. You can take all of it and have just all the food in the world really, but also it has a blacksmith chest, and this isn't the best blacksmith chest in the world. It doesn't have loads of diamonds, but it does have a really nice start to the game in the form of an iron pickaxe, so you don't have to go through the wooden pickaxe to make the stone pickaxe, to make, to mine the iron to make the iron pickaxe. You just get the iron pickaxe for free, and you also get 2 iron ingots. This is great because it means you can make an iron sword too, and you also have 4 oak saplings, so if you want to, a fun little challenge on this seed would be to, just try and survive in the desert without going to any other biome for as long as you can, because the cool thing about this desert is it is massive. It has all the building space you'd ever need, and because it never rains in the desert, that's always a nice little bonus too. But yeah, this is kind of the first stop-off point if you are just trying to get all the loot and checking out the seed, but it is a pretty cool stop-off point, because like I mentioned, it has 5 separate planters here, which is quite a lot, especially since they're doubles for such a small village. And yeah, let's move on from this one across the slightly, moundy desert. It's usually a bit more flat than this, but here it's very, very, up and down, over to this desert temple over here. So this is a really cool desert temple to me because it's partially covered, and it's covered in that way that, you can still see it, but it looks like, it really was a relic, left behind a long time ago, because it's under something like 4 layers of sand. Wait, let's quickly check that one. I think it's 4, maybe 5 layers of sand. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's 4 and a bit layers of sand, basically, and that's a lot of sand to be under, but, you can still get to put the same. You can still get your random chance for loot by just breaking the pressure plate, and then getting yourself some gold, so yeah, some diamonds, some emeralds. All these things can be found, sometimes even enchanted books if you're pretty lucky. In there, of course, this time we got unlucky with just gold, but still, you can keep reloading if you want, or you can just decide, oh, gold's still pretty good. But yeah, this is the first desert temple. It can be found just over here, which is slightly to the right of that village. You can see them from each other. It's hard to really miss. But yeah, this is kind of the end of the desert here. It's a nice little boost as you go around the rest of the map, because the cool thing about over here to me is there's this really weird kind of intersection between the... Also, those cows all moved simultaneously. But there's a really weird intersection between the, the end of the desert, where it's kind of on a hill, and the start of the swamp, and the fact that there's a big kind of, cave down here. Because as you can see, the cave roof is entirely made of these sandstone, which is normal when you're underneath a desert, but the fact that you can just access this through a straight cave is kind of cool. But what's even cooler is the fact that if you go through this cave with a cool roof, you'll actually keep on heading through here. You'll find yourself some free iron that looks like 2 separate veins of it. But if you then head just down around the corners here, eventually, you'll be able to find yourself in one of these places. This is, of course, a spider spawner. So, spider spawners aren't the most desirable type because, string isn't that crazy early on. But if you do want to make a bed and you don't want to find sheep, this is one way to do it. But also, you get yourself one of the rarest pieces of loot in the game, the golden apple. It's not as rare as it used to be, but it's still incredibly rare. Like, maybe 1 in 10, 20 mob spawners will have them. And it's still, it's a nice little reward. Like, a golden apple to take with you on your way. It's like, oh, yeah, let's do that. So, it's especially great if you're playing UHC. This is makes it a great seed for that. And you also have a saddle to ride a horse, some bread, some cat, all the stuff you really want there. So, moving on from this, as we get out of the cave, just in case you're wondering, you do have to take some weird turns in here, but if you're, just in case you are wondering, you head through the cave like this, you take a left turn, you go down, you take a right, then you turn 180 degrees, and then you're there. So, yeah, it's kind of tricky, but it's kind of easy to see once you're in there. And yeah, with that said, let's keep on moving. So, there is a swamp biome here, and usually I'm not too fond of these, although it looks like this one just has attracted all the sheep and cows in the world, which is nice, because just look how many there is. But yeah, so, Usually I don't like swamp biomes, but this one is an exception because it does have some surface lava. Surface lava is great if you want to go to the nether easy, because you just need to bring 2 buckets, and because there's water next to it, you can literally go to the nether before you even have, proper equipment and stuff, which probably isn't recommendable, but it's something you can do. I'm a big fan of surface lava is the point I'm trying to get across here, and you get some here. So, if you don't like swamp biomes like myself, don't worry, you don't have to put up with it for too long. There's a tiny bit of swamp water here, but then you're straight into the jungle. And jungle, jungles this size usually are just kind of overwhelming, but this one's pretty cool, especially since if you go below the jungle, you'll see something really weird and glitchy, which comes in the form of course, like a ravine, but the ravine intersects with an abandoned mineshaft, which is kind of normal. It's rare, but it's normal. But it intersects in such a way that, like, you can see here, there's a spawner which will spawn into the ravine, and also the water from the ravine. The water from the ravine will pour in there, and it breaks a lot of the cobwebs. And it means if you can get there and break it early, then it's great. But if you can't, then you're gonna have a bunch of angry cave spiders just sitting just over there, being like, we're trying to get to you. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, having lots of taunted cave spiders, that's pretty cool. And this is the ravine for you. So it's also just a nice source of coal and iron and stuff, but you're probably not going to dig below below a jungle for that. But if you want to explore abandoned mineshaft and you're willing to take a bit of risk, because there is an entire one down here, then that's something you can totally do. So let's hop out of this place, so over to the ceiling, and let's move on to the next thing in the jungle. So, obviously a jungle this big, you might think, does it have a jungle temple? And the answer to your question would, of course, be yes. So, yeah, jungle temples, same as desert temples, if you can go through them, you've got like 2 chances for, some nice little loot, whether it be gold, diamonds, or, those other things, and let's just break through the wall here, because, you can do a little other thing, or you can just break 1 block in the wall, and you can be like, oh, what's in the chest? And today we're going to find out that inside... Oh, wait. Okay, there we go. So, we've got 1 bit of iron, we've got 7 bits gold, and 6 bones, which is pretty nice for this first chest. And if we head over to here, we'll also just find ourselves 9 bits of rotten flesh and 10 bones. So, yeah, I always get bad luck in jungle temples, but you always have a chance of getting good luck. Also, there's some mushrooms here, and they seem to light up the ground around them. It's a very weird, glitchy place, which I've just always wondered about, but that's something you can totally stare at if you want to. I know, it looks really, really weird to me. But yeah, jungle temple is slightly glitched, but the second desert temple on the scene is very glitched. And you've probably seen this glitch before, but if you haven't, it's very, very cool, because it is at the very north of the map over here. So if you head way, way, way up here to the north of the map, like I said, if you just head past the edge of the jungle, you'll see that there is this really weird, not only are these, there are these weird mounds of like the jungle where it glitches to the edge of the map. If you're wondering, the world shouldn't go all the way to the edge here, because, this is kind of like, basically there should be like a full half chunk of water between the edge of the map and the end here, but jungle edge biomes, for some reason, I don't know if it's a glitch, because they probably know about it by now, for some reason they go all the way to the edge here, and it's really, really weird to me. So, yeah, if you've ever wanted to be at the very edge of the world but still not be in water, this is the place to do it, I guess. And also, as I mentioned, this is probably something you've seen before, but if you haven't, it is a really, really extraordinary thing to stare at, because as you can see, this is a desert temple just chilling there. But it not only is it in a jungle, which is weird enough by itself, but it also gets cut off by the edge of the world, which means that, you've got your access to your jungle temple. You'd be like, oh yeah, do you like my jungle temple? But in reality, it's just this, and you can't even walk the edge here, because of course that's the very edge of the world, and it's a very, very weird experience. However, something that is pretty cool about this is there is a secret little area that can be obtained if you have 2 ender pearls. So the first ender pearl you want to throw at the floor just over there, because this allows you to walk into the edge of the world like this. And then, if you ender pearl over to here, you've got yourself a secret area. Make sure you have 2 ender pearls to get back, or maybe some more. But yeah, it's pretty cool to me that you can get yourself trapped in a little secret area like that, and I kind of like that a lot. And if you really want to, you can just kind of chill down here if you want to drown yourself slowly, because you do kind of trap people under ice here. But yeah, so this is a cool place to hang out and chill if you have some ender pearls. We have to ender pearl back in, and yeah, I thought that might be worth showing off. So in case you haven't ever done that glitch, it's a fun one you can do in survival, and it's pretty interesting in my opinion. So moving on from here, we've got another one of these mounds, which shouldn't be here because, like I said, the whole world wants to have this big ocean thing here. But jungle, like one of the jungle hill M's and the edges thing, it gets all mixed up and it just goes right to the edge. So, yeah, moving on from this, we do have a few more things to show you. Mostly, if we go south here, we get an extreme hills biome. This is probably the least extreme hills I've seen in a while. Like, this is the most extreme of the extreme hills, and it's really not that much higher above everything else. But also, Well, first of all, just over here, we have a second bit of surface lava, in case you don't like to go to the swamp biome. This one's in the snow biome, which is always so weird to me that there's just a big pit of lava right here in the coldest place in the seed, maybe? It doesn't make too much sense, like I mentioned, but if you want it, it is at these coordinates right here. But yeah, if we head this way a little bit, then what you actually see is we have a very, very tiny plains biome on this map. It is, you can literally see how tiny it is, like it's this island right here, which is pretty cool in my opinion that it's so small, because it means if you want to find stuff, then you know, it's a pretty compact area. You can see the entire plains biome from one spot. But also, it's got a NPC village, which is, again, gone right to the edge of the world. You can see here, some of the NPC village was cut off by the edge of the world, but it's still pretty cool when it floats above water, because you don't have to look after the villagers at all, because they kind of trap themselves in there. Like, you can see, this guy, there's no way for a zombie to get in this door, even if it's left open, because they have to spawn in the water and then kind of float up. So as long as they don't walk out, you can keep your librarians safe, and if you want to do that, then this is a pretty cool village to keep around for trading. So yeah, all the villagers in this village, I believe every single one of them is safe forever, because this one doesn't even have a door. He's just safe because of the whole thing. So yeah, if you want to have trades later on the game when you've ruined your first village, this is the one to come to. So what else do we have going on in this seed then? So if we head just further more to the south here, this is something that I think is just kind of cool, and I also have a mob spawner nearby. But basically, because they haven't implemented the the temperature system from 1.7, the new biome update, basically the way lots of biomes work is they next to one thing you can just have something else, and that means you end up with situations like this where you have a jungle, which is meant to be one of the warmest biomes in the game, right next to a snow biome, which is the coldest biome in the game, of course. And this ends up with the really interesting situation where you have stuff like this, where it's literally ice that can get you you can jump across from the ice to over here. And you also end up with trees over here, which are half in the jungle and half in the snow place, so you can see the leaves just change colour on the tree, which I really like seeing stuff like this, and if you like seeing slightly weird things, that's pretty cool. But if you don't, then just over here, there is also something pretty cool. By the way, we're pretty close to spawn again now, because we do have a zombie spawner literally just 6 blocks below ground. 1, 2, 3, 4... 5, 6, 7 apparently, my bad. As you can see just down here, you get 2 free chests, one with a name tag, saddle, 4 bits of iron, both music discs, and the other one has, wheat, another name tag, and some redstone. I usually never use the redstone from the chest, but if you're a redstone guy, then that's kind of nice. But the main thing is that you get some free name tags and some free stuff like that. So, big fan of that, big fan of this seed in general. I think if you want a little bit of a different experience with a seed, this one kind of delivers. Like I mentioned, it seems to have a really weird way the biomes cross over from each other. Like the snow biomes right next to the 2 hottest biomes in the game, the desert and the jungle. It has the really weird, glitchy desert temple at the end. And also what it has, just over here is a river which runs all the way through the seed. So I've usually seen long rivers in the seed, which impressed me. But this one literally runs from the bottom of the seed, the very, very southest point in the seed, all the way over here, all the way for... Okay, so let's drink a speed potion here. It runs all the way up the center of the map. So if you look on the map, you can actually see this. It runs all the way up the center here. It goes around that loop-de-loop, around over to here, back up to the north, through another biome. Like, this is going through, like, 6 or 7 separate biomes, through this one, too. And then once it reaches the north, it actually, like, kind of crisscrosses around, as well as going all the way to the top. It starts a new river going back down. So if you look at the map here, you can kind of see, as you go through this whole thing, you end up in this little river over here. As well as ending up at the very north of the map, it starts another river, so they kind of meet over here. And this one starts going back down the map, and it almost makes it the entire way back down the map, which is just so cool to me, like a piece of nature like this, like if you like your rivers, if you like how natural stuff can look in Minecraft, it's just really cool to me that you could, swim a boat all the way from the bottom of the map, all the way back down to here before having to get out of water, and you could even make this a natural canal, which goes a lot further if you want to. But that's if you're a fan of waterways. I don't know if that is just me or if that is other people, but I hope you did enjoy the seed in general. As I said, I hope that, you find something in this that you do like. If at the very least, then I hope you just enjoyed all the loot that I found, and I hope you did enjoy the video either way. So please do like it if you did like it, share it if you really liked it, and subscribe if you're new around here. I make videos like this every single day on my channel, and if subscribed, you'll see them daily on your homepage. Thank you all for watching, and goodbye.